Sampras. Andy Roddick. It's back to the future here in Houston at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships. The sizzling young American, Andy Roddick, is in the position of defending his title against his idol, the legendary Pete Sampras, the greatest player of his generation and possibly of all time. But Sampras has not won a title in almost 2 years. Victory on red clay has been elusive. Today he'll be playing on French clay, imported from Paris. Andy Roddick has won 4 titles in the past 12 months. His career record on clay, a sparkling 18-2. Sampras won his first major at age 19. Andy Roddick is 19 years old. Join us as generations collide. Coming up next. Semi-final action from last night as 2 old rivals, Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi, squared off for the 33rd time in their illustrious career. Sampras looked sharp in the first set, stayed back, looked like a clay courter all of a sudden. Watch the drop shot. Agassi will get to it, but another lob, and Sampras sneaks in. Watch Pete now with some deft touch off that backhand volley. Agassi outclassed in the first set, and now Sampras trying to put it away in the second. This was match point, but watch Agassi up the line. Just inside the sideline, he fights off a match point. A packed house in Houston was eating it up. But on the 5th match point, Sampras lines up the big one. A service ace down the center, and that was it. Pete Sampras, a straight set winner over Andre Agassi, 6-1, 7-5, and Sampras into the championship round. Earlier in the day, 19-year-old Andy Roddick, the defending champion here in Houston, played the Argentine, Guillermo Correa. Watch the drop shot in a moment here, as Roddick showing that he knows how to play on clay. Won the first set easily, got in trouble in the second, and now 3rd set action. And Roddick started putting it together once again. One of the biggest forehands in the business, Roddick with another winner. And he won that match in 3 sets, 6-2 in the final set. And so Andy Roddick, the defending champ, into the championship round. Raymond James presents the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships on Outdoor Life Network. Today it's championship action from the Westside Tennis Club in Houston, Texas, where Andy Roddick takes on Pete Sampras. And good afternoon, everybody. Barry McKay with you on another hot, humid day here in Houston, Texas. Not as much wind, though, as we had yesterday. Should be great conditions down there. Well, this tournament, one of the oldest in the United States, dating way back to 1910 in Omaha, Nebraska, of all places. And we should see some great action today. Certainly one of the best matches we've had all week long with Sampras and Roddick. And, of course, big times for clay court players from all over the world. 4 weeks from tomorrow morning, that big one over in Paris, the French Open, commences. And so these are big days for clay courters. And we're going to see a couple today. And imported from France, of all places, the red clay, where we're going to see Roddick and Sampras today. And speaking of imports, my colleague, Leif Shivers, is courtside. How you doing, Leif?
Barry, it is hot and humid down here on the court. I don't know how it is up in the shade there in the booth, but it certainly isn't hotter than down here. These guys have a lot of work ahead of them here. You know, both Roddick and Sampras have told me the court is playing hard and fast, so it's not surprising that the game's 2 biggest servers square off in the finals. 14 months ago, Andy Roddick, the biggest win of his career. It happened in Miami on the hard courts. And who did he beat? He took out none other than Pete Sampras. An amazing win for Roddick that catapulted him into the top of the game and solidified his position on the tour. 3 titles he won that year, including this one in Houston. Both these guys, a healthy respect for each other. Here's what they had to say about each other's games.
He has a huge forehand when he's set up. Volley's great, moves great, has a great serve. You know, that makes for a pretty good package, and he, you know, comes up with shots when he needs to. So, you know, and he has, you know, confidence. He could double fault 3 times in a row, and you know, be confident that he can hit a second serve ace, and not a lot of people have that. So, you know, I think that is, you know, an X factor that definitely helps him out.
I mean, he's got one of the hardest serves in the game, and really his second serve's got a lot of action on this court. It's going to be bouncing all over the place. You know, he's a great competitor. He's got the big game. He's plays with a lot of energy, and you know, he just has a lot of power. You know, he really, you know, seeing him up close playing with him in Davis Cup, I mean, I'm really pretty impressed with his game, and I think the future of American tennis is looking very bright with him kind of leading the charge.
I'm not sure who's going to have the better future after today's match. I'm going to pick a long shot, Sampras, to win on clay. He told me the last time they played, he wasn't ready for the power game of Andy Roddick. Barry, it's either Pete or repeat here at the U.S. Clay Court Championships.
All right, I like your style. Out on a limb again, Leaf, but I'll tell you something. I think Roddick's got a big play. Sampras is going to have to serve one of his best matches today, both first and second serves, in order to have a chance to beat Andy Roddick. Don't forget, Roddick is the defending champion. Pete Sampras will have it for you when we return on Outdoor Life Network. Absolute sellout here at Center Court, the Westside Tennis Club in Houston. We're ready to go. Sampras serving, and believe it or not, the base linesman calls a football on the very first point of this match, and a big boo goes up. That is amazing, Leaf. We've mentioned the wind several times, and certainly a factor today, but nothing like it was yesterday. It will be coming from behind where Sampras is serving, from that far side. Roddick in the near court.
You know, today it's more breezy down on the court. The other day was pretty gusty.
Yeah. Close ball on that sideline. Roddick had another look. 15 all.
Yeah, I was hoping for a breeze when I was down on the court because it is hot down there.
Well, you look pretty cool to me.
These guys are definitely going to earn their pay today.
No call. Service ace down the center. His first of the match. 125 miles per hour. We'll keep an eye on that radar gun for you. A lot of shirt sleeves today here in Houston. Temperature up close to 90, if not above it. And the humidity. Yes! Roddick with that two-hander cross-court, and it was deep.
You know, I think Sampras had a chance to do more with this volley. I mean, I think he's going to have to show a little more respect because Roddick can create that kind of stuff.
That's a big league shot from Roddick right there. Oh, look out. Great effort. Roddick skidded. Roddick really took off on that ball, used the clay, and slid about 12 feet. Look at that mark as he slid across. Way outside the doubles line. I think that's one of the beauties of clay.
Yeah, part of the artistry is sliding into the shots, recovering.
Sampras with his first double in the match. Call there. 129.
Well, that's a nice way to make up for a double fault.
Ace number 2.
Not surprising. He's won 8 straight sets coming into this final.
Roddick jumps on that second serve.
Yeah, Sampras lost his opening set this week to Jan Vacek from Czechoslovakia. Since then, he's been perfect. 4 wins, 8 sets right in a row. So he's getting it together.
Don't you think, Leaf, first game on the receiver's side, if he gets a lot of balls in play, it tells the server, hey, I'm in this match right away?
That's a good opening game from Roddick. John McEnroe always said, you know, there's something to the way you're losing. You know, you know, you can send messages.
Their ball in play. Yes. Roddick gives it a little clap.
Well, Sampras has been to the net every point this game. So a sure sign that he's going to be trying to press the advantage, particularly when he's got the wind behind him.
Once again, a chance for Sampras to hold. No.
Well, he created the opening, didn't he, with that wide bouncing serve. And he converted on almost all opportunities like that against Agassi. That time, he missed it long. And again, he just got up on the ball.
Well, that's the shot he hit so well against Andre last night. 11th point of the first game. Once again, Sampras trying to close out this very tough first game. He's got to be saying to himself, am I going to have to work this hard every game on my own serve? There it is. An ace from Sampras. 1-love. Pete Sampras, first set.
Good afternoon and welcome to the final of the 2002 U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships.
We have a great match today featuring world-class competition between two of the game's greatest players.
Wood Forest National Bank has 49 branches throughout the Houston area, and we are proud to join the Simmons Mattress Company as title sponsors of this great event.
Simmons is one of the nation's leading manufacturers of mattresses, giving you better sleep through science. Welcome again, and we hope you enjoy the match.
Thanks very much, fellas. Great to have some terrific sponsorship throughout the entire tournament week, and they have had sellout crowds here virtually every session, and the same goes today. Not an empty seat in this house. A lot of tennis in Houston just 2 weeks ago. These two guys were playing Davis Cup against Spain on a grass court here.
Roddick, the teenager. And what an athlete. 6'2", 185. Perfect build for tennis. 14th in the champions race. And having a good start to his tennis season. Pretty comfortable through the early rounds. Mike Russell, the American, Alex Calatrava, James Blake, fellow Davis Cupper. And in the semifinal, Guillermo Correa, the Argentine.
Roddick out wide, his first ace, 120 miles per hour. But that had some spin on it, Leaf, and it still was at 120. No call. Sampras has another look. Norm Christ.
1 game all.
Tour veteran umpires up in the chair, and that last serve 134 miles per hour from Roddick.
Barry, I don't know if you remember the matchup Roddick and Sampras in Miami, but there was a time in the match when Roddick hit a first serve and it actually hit Sampras, who was trying to return it. I mean, that was the pace he was delivering. Sampras just not ready for that kind of pace. I think today he is, but even still, what do you do with that kind of pace? You almost have to get out of the way of it.
Both players with those white hats. Sampras looking up into the sun now from the near side. And he'll be serving into the wind. Let's pass. Pete Sampras, 30 years old, now living in L.A. In great shape at 175 pounds. His pro career goes way back to 1988.
Yeah, Jose Higuera has really got him training hard. Not that he didn't train hard before, but now Sampras is spending more time on the tennis court. 2-a-days, plus work in the gym as well.
That's good. Miss hit off the baseline.
A little chance here for Roddick as we look at how Sampras got through to the finals. There's that opening set loss to Vacek. Again, convincingly through against Pierta, Todd Martin. And that semifinal classic against Agassi. Exciting finish for Pete Sampras.
Oh, that's too good.
Well, always a key for Pete Sampras is how he's taking care of his serve, and he has not lost it since that Marion Puerta match. And again, low forehand in the middle of the court. Gets that racket face through and up and over, finishes up by his ear, imparting topspin on the ball.
No call, right on the baseline.
A couple of forehand winners, and he's back even.
Would you say through the years, the forehand of Sampras has been his bread and butter ground stroke?
Yeah, and that's the shot he wants to bring to bear here today. He's got to try and use that as much as possible.
Sampras checking that sun out. It is definitely a factor now when you serve from this side. And as a big server, that is a huge factor because you want that ball right where you like it. Roddick looked like he had conceded the point, Leap, and then suddenly he says, hey, I got a chance to get my racket on this ball.
Yeah, I might be able to get that one.
Yeah. Sampras heading over to, looks like, change a racket. He uses very thin gauge gut, 17, and strings it up at, what did you say, 70 or so?
80 to 85 pounds. And, you know, one of the few guys that uses that small racket head. I mean, he's only 85 square inches. And there is Andy Roddick's doubles partner, Marty Fish. Roddick in the doubles final with Marty Fish. Chance to pull off a double here.
Roddick's got a big day ahead of him, a long day ahead of him. Yes, Sampras just smooths that forehand for a winner. And so Pete Sampras, 2-1, first set.
2-1 Sampras, and this is Sampras's last service point, his last service game. Look at how far over he is. And again, his tactic here is he's trying to get the forehand into play earlier in the point, and it works perfectly as he gets that ball right in the middle, right where he wants it. And that's the shot that's going to be the winning shot here on clay, is the forehand.
No. You know, Leaf, I have watched Sampras through the years play the French Championship, and I have never seen him vary his serve like he's done this week. You know, moving around on the baseline, I think it's a great play. He's got to keep it up.
It really is. It keeps you fresh. You know, you're thinking about it. It means you're working hard here. You're trying to find winning ways.
Ball jumps off the service line. You have to wonder if Jose Higueras, who coached Michael Chang to that big victory at the French years ago, has been telling Pete, hey, listen, I'm a great clay court player. Here's what you got to do on clay. Sampras going for a little too much on that forehand, overhits it.
It's interesting to know you mentioned Higueras, the great clay quarters 20 years ago, 1982. Jose Higueras won this same title.
No. Ooh. That is a great get from Roddick.
Well, certainly Roddick also has the forehand that he's going to try and bring into play. This time it's a nice half volley. Steers that one down the line beautifully.
Service ace. Roddick holds his third ace of the match. And
yeah, pretty impressive record. Both Henman and Roddick leading the tour in match wins. Henman off to a great start as well. Federer not far behind. Chance for Andy Roddick, should he win here, step out into the lead.
Yeah, he'd have it all to himself. The half volley, you know, at least give me that Roddick hit in that last game, to me shows why he's such a great player. He can improvise from the baseline, a la Andre Agassi, and he does it a lot of times.
Yeah, he's got great control of the racket face. His game has grown so quickly.
Oh, yes. And there's one that backfired.
Well, Roddick is anticipating this one. He's really stepped out. Look at how quickly he got out to cover that. Well outside the doubles alley. Second serve, Barry. You think Pete's going to serve and volley on this one?
I don't think so. Roddick's returning way too well. Net court. Wow. Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty high level of tennis going on right now. Roddick does well just to get it back. And Sampras carving this one, just catching that edge. Great finesse.
Yeah. In that high bouncer. Sampras, the only chance he takes with that is that Roddick can knock off the two-hander up the line, which he did the last time. That's an awful tough shot. Sampras, 40-15. That will go long and Pete Sampras home. 3-2, Sampras, first set. Three games to 2. Pete Sampras leading on a hot, humid afternoon here from Houston, Texas. We're at the Westside Tennis Club. And a dream matchup. The heir apparent to American tennis, Andy Roddick, the defending champion here, taking on one of the all-time greats, Pete Sampras. Sampras playing some of the best clay court tennis I think he's played in his career. Shot. And a great effort from Sampras.
Well, he's comfortable playing in Houston, isn't he? He has yet to lose in this event. Yet to lose in this city.
Ace number 4. Ball sticks in the net again. You got to have a very solid net to put up with these two guys. Right on the baseline. You could see it jump.
Well, this almost has a hard court feel about it, the way these guys are driving their ground strokes. That time Sampras right off the line. But Roddick is sliding beautifully into that backhand.
Yes. I'm Barry McKay along with Lee Shiras, bringing you finals from the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships, Houston, Texas. We're at the Westside Tennis Club as Pete Sampras takes on Andy Roddick. We are at 3-2. Sampras leading, Roddick up 40-15. And a service ace. Number 5 for Andy Roddick. Join the 2002 Tour de France Team Selection Show. Lance Armstrong will be trying for an incredible 4th straight victory in the Tour de France, coming to OLN this July. The Tour de France Selection Show, Thursday, May 9th at 9 p.m. right here on Outdoor Life Network. That should be a good one. 3 games all. First set. You saw that forehand of Sampras's bounce off that baseline. The lines here are tiny little white tiles, and they are very slick, and so should the ball hit them, there they are. Good look at the lines. Very unusual, Leaf, and boy, when that ball hits those, it really takes off. No.
Well, that's what Roddick usually does to Sampras, that high bounder. That's a slump. Sampras trying to find a slump buster right here.
It's called a tennis drought. Dirty love. Sampras trying to hold and go up 4-3. Wide open court, solid high forehand volley.
Yeah, I think that hard work that Sampras has been putting in is paying off. I mean, this is the best I've seen him move this year. And oftentimes, the rewards don't come immediately. They come over time. I think it's beginning to show.
That's wide. All of a sudden, Sampras hears a cell phone off to his right. A little annoying. Midcourt. It's good. Roddick got a break. That midcourt stayed high. There it is right here. Now watch. Sampras picks up the half volley, but not enough. Nice little touch from Roddick on that forehand volley. Brought the racket back quickly. Yes. Ace number 4 for Sampras. He holds 4-3. Worth of U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships. Andy Roddick, 19 years old, trying to beat Pete Sampras. Welcome back to Houston, Texas. 4-3. Pete Sampras. We're joined by one of the hot young Americans, maybe of all times, certainly in the tabloids, Jan Michael Gamble. Jan, good to have you with us.
Thank you.
You're in the doubles final later.
We are in the doubles final. It'll be fun.
What about this match we're watching, Jan Michael? Sampras and the kid, I think maybe a very interesting matchup. They both have similar styles.
Very interesting matchup. Pete played a great match last night against Andre to win that one. I wouldn't have picked him to be the favorite there, and I wouldn't pick him today against Andy. But you know, he's playing some good tennis out here, and you know, it's on the clay. He's proven he can play well on it.
How does this clay compare? I know it's imported from France, Jan Michael. Is it really totally different than the green stuff you guys play on?
I think it's pretty different. It plays different from the clay over there in Europe a little bit, in that I think it's a little more humid here in Houston than it is in Europe, and that's really the only difference, I think. But it's the same clay we play on over there.
Love 15.
He's got that nasty twist serve, doesn't he? What's it like to have that one caroming off the court like that? I mean, you have to take it early and try and
very difficult second serve to return. He's got one of the best second serves in the tour right now, maybe the best. Gives him a lot of free points on his second serve, which a lot of guys don't get, especially in the clay.
Brand new tennis balls, Jan. You like playing with new balls on a red clay court?
You got to be very careful with the new balls sometimes. Sometimes when you get used to the other balls, you get the new ones, and it's easy to miss your serve. So you got to really concentrate those games.
Now, the guys have been saying, both Sampras and Roddick said to me that the ball seemed a little bit light, and that they were flying through there pretty quick. So is it playing faster than Paris?
I've actually been told that we're playing with the balls that the girls use at the U.S. Open. So I think they are a little bit of a lighter ball.
Yeah, it's not an extra duty ball.
No.
And so Roddick holds. We are at 4 games all. Second set. Certainly one of the best young Americans to come along in a long time. Jan Michael, 4 games off, Roddick's receiving. You think anything's going through his mind now to maybe take some chances on a second serve?
I'm not sure he'll take the chances. You might see him back up and play a few more balls deeper, try to get Pete to play a few from the baseline if he misses his first serve.
Didn't miss that one.
You can't do a whole lot about that serve right there.
I should mention your doubles partner, Graydon Oliver. You're taking on Andy Roddick and Marty Fish. Roddick trying to pull off a double.
Yeah, I'm very excited for my doubles partner, Graydon Oliver, just coming out in the tour. Played at Illinois, and very good player. And it's very exciting to see how excited he is about make it to his first final, his first semifinal.
Well, he's playing with Jan Michael Gamble. He's got to be feeling good about that.
He's more than holding his own on the court, and he's playing some good doubles out there. It's fun to watch, fun to play with.
And there's an example, I think, of the lighter ball. The ball just sort of took off on Andy on the return. Is it harder to control the lighter ball? Yeah, sometimes it flies on you just a bit.
The ball does fly a little bit here, and you see Andy doing exactly what I said he would. The opposite of what I said. There, you were right.
Just catches the tape.
So this is the kind of rhythm Sampras likes. I mean, I think so far this is the kind of match Pete wants to play. If he gets into a serving duel, he feels he can outserve anyone. That's how much confidence he has in that stroke.
I would agree. I think, Pete still hits the spots better than anybody with his serve.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh, very close.
Well, he almost hit the spot with the forehanded and just missed it on the sideline. Norm Christ, no complaint from Sampras.
You guys have confidence in Norm Christ, do you, Jan Michael?
You know it. We have confidence in all of our charm bars, don't we?
Oh, come on now. I've had enough.
We're on the air, aren't we?
Will go long. And so Sampras holds 5 games to 4. Jan Michael, thanks a million for coming up. Good luck in the doubles. And keep that Ferrari looped up, will you?
Ferrari, Jaguar. Thank you.
Default. That's long.
Tarek Benabila is Andy Roddick's coach. He's been around since the start of this run. A couple great years they've put together. Roddick calls him Yoda. He says he's the master. All-knowing.
Well, Tarek Benabila is certainly a great French player. He was in the 20s in the world. A few lines people up there giving him some trouble. No.
Well, one last thing on Benabila is we talked about Higueras winning this event 20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, 1982, Benabila has won the French Juniors.
Oh.
So this guy knows his way around a clay court. I wonder if Higgy would rather have the title or those years. What would he rather be, 30 or 40?
Well, the ball kids just took a tumble, and out there on the far side really took a hard fall. She went down, and now they're letting her have a seat. It is very hot and humid down there.
Well, I was standing out there, Barry, and that sun is intense. And again, Houston, very famous for its humidity.
They're really zooming in on that.
We could use a few of those up here in the booth, I think. And hopefully she'd be all right.
And Roddick holds. We are at 5 games off. First set.
Yeah, well, this has the feel of one of those tie-break sets, Barry. What do you think?
I think it definitely does. That is a long drought on clay. Way back in '98 in Atlanta, he beat the Australian Jason Stoltenberg, who is now working with the #1 player in the world, Leighton Hewitt. He'll get it. Sampras continuing to use that wide.
Yeah, I mean, he's way out there.
But only on first serve.
Yeah, second serve, he'll move well over, right into the center.
That's too good.
Well, that's a sure sign that Pete Sampras is playing good tennis, because he's starting to get his weight on that backhand. Oftentimes he plays this off the back foot, but again, he's got his weight on the ball. And again, good, strong hit, and that provides that direction, creates the line. Oftentimes he plays off his back foot and it ends up in the net or over the baseline.
Ace. Roddick holding up 2 fingers thinking it was a let. That was the 6th ace for Pete Sampras. Pete now trying to keep the sweat off that hand. He's got a huge sweatlet on both arms, but again, we mentioned the humidity, and it makes it tough to hold the racket. Second serve. No. Jose Higueras, the coach of Pete Sampras, who I mentioned earlier coached Michael Chang to that big victory at the French. They've been working out down in Palm Springs, California. Higueras not here this week, but I'm sure Pete will be back there next week doing some more work.
Well, Higueras also worked with Jim Courier. Helped him to win that French Open as well. Roddick will serve to get into the tiebreaker.
Pete Sampras up 6-5, first set here at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships.
And here is a comparison. Look at the number of titles Sampras has. That is just remarkable, 63. And look at the match wins. But how about the dollars down below? Roddick just getting past $1 million this season. But Roddick is off and running. He's got a long way to go to catch Pete.
I would have gone to that $42 million. That caught my eye very quickly, Lee. I got some nice silver trophies I can melt down, but they don't total $42 million. Ace number 6. There is the trophy that will be awarded to the winner today. By golly, they go way back to 60. I'm glad to see that plaque on there. I hope they keep that one polished. If they try and take that one off, I'm going to scream. That was at the River Forest Tennis Club in Chicago, Illinois. Just long.
Well, Roddick has been dominating on his serve. He's only lost 3 points against serve. So that is a good sign for him going into this tiebreaker here.
This is a kind of game, Leaf, don't you think, where you, as a server, you want to have a quick game looking ahead to that tiebreak?
Yeah, take that momentum. Take it with you.
Inside out.
Now, this is what Sampras said was going to be the challenge today, you know, dealing with that second serve. Because if you don't hit your return good enough, this is what he's going to do. He's going to suddenly click in the power game.
Now Roddick taking some Sampras advice way over on the serve.
Saw a little bit of a wry smile from Sampras over there, saying, oh, okay, this is what it feels like. Well, that's a better return from Sampras. That one had depth. Depth. Hitting the ball well into the back of the court. A great substitute for power.
Yes. Roddick down the center, 129, his 7th ace. And we have arrived at a tiebreak.
Roddick, winning record in breakers. Sampras, surprisingly, has struggled.
I sense just a little bit of slowdown from Sampras. Leaf between points. I don't know whether he's feeling this humidity or not. Well, the minute I say it, he serves an ace, his 8th of the match.
Sampras has to like those quick points. Clearly the older man here.
Ooh, just catches the tape.
Well, that was an inviting ball. Short, center of the court. Sampras had to be licking his lips seeing that one.
It's long. It's wide. Response on that second serve from Roddick, Leaf. That was a great second serve from Sampras.
Yeah, it was. Sampras, sensing that he had to do something big there, made the error.
Let, no call. Sampras will have 2. No.
Well, a couple of key points now coming up for Pete Sampras. He's going to have to find a way to get to this Roddick serve.
No, Roddick goes for a big second serve. That is his first double of the day, and what a time for it. Let Sampras back in this tiebreak. They'll change sides. 3 points all.
A big break for Sampras. I mean, really, he has not done well against the Roddick serve. And that time, Roddick just gifted him one.
Interesting decision, Leaf, huh? At a huge point to go for a second serve ace. Well, that's what makes him exciting. And now Roddick serving at 3-all. Service ace. The 8th ace for Andy Roddick.
That is just a giant serve, isn't it? Just enormous. Plenty of pace, plenty of spin. And it hit the court and just drove out. Sampras no chance to get even near it.
Serve volley.
Yeah, I think the backhand volley is Sampras' best side. That's how he gets the shoulder into play. He really gets around, gets turned on it.
No, just over the baseline. Sampras comes in behind both serves on big points.
Yeah, he's in a good rhythm. And Roddick unable to really find the return. A kind of a mishit floater. And I think he's saying, I had a chance. I had to swing at that one.
Roddick took a big chance. Leaf left the court open on that inside-out forehand, and it worked. Wow, big point, and Roddick decides to tie the shoes. Reminiscent of our old friend John McEnroe. How often did he do that on big points? 5 of them. Service ace, 132. Ace number 9.
The kid showed good composure there, didn't he?
Oof.
Beautiful delivery. Brings up set point.
Look out. Oh, yes. And a brilliant little half volley from Sampras.
Well, I'm not sure which was better. This volley here, that is a tough one. He's got to get some pace on it somehow. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, man, that was a good shot.
Just cupping that beautifully. Get the racket face on the top of it, yeah.
Fabulous touch, and Roddick applauds. Great sportsmanship, because Roddick hit a fine cross court there. Well, these folks are getting their money's worth today. Oh, the backhand goes wide. Sampras trying to do a little too much as he saw Roddick moving that way. And now, set point for Andy Roddick. Down the center. Look out. Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Wide open court! Look at this crowd.
What can you say? Brilliant.
That is the shot of the tournament right there. And Sampras knows it. Roddick hangs in. Barry McKay along with Lee Shires. Championship match from Houston, Texas. Andy Roddick and Pete Sampras in a fantastic tiebreak here. And now Roddick at set point. It's wide. Yes.
Roddick unable to do enough for the return. He gets in a good position to finish it clean.
Oh, Roddick got a let call, and he's saying, why was that a let? It's his best forehand of the day. Norm Chris called it. This, the 17th point of this tiebreak. Sampras trying to do a little too much.
Well, Sampras has saved 4 set points, and he's done it in spectacular fashion. Look at this pass. He's so good on the run off the forehand side. 9 points all. Guys will switch sides, take a moment to towel down.
2 world-class players showing what it's all about here. This is high-quality tennis. 9 points all. They change sides, and Roddick to serve. Unbelievable. Sampras with a smile.
Barry, has that guy got a ticket?
I think he's got 5 tickets.
Come on, who are these former presidents who come in and interrupt our match?
That is a great play. The former president walks in and gets a huge hand, and Sampras with a smile says, wait a second. That's a great moment.
Boy, I haven't seen Sampras this animated in a while. Huh?
That's right.
That's great.
And Roddick makes no mistake.
Well, set point number 5 for the teenager. I'll tell you, Pete Sampras could sure use a first serve here.
Good serve. And there it is. Roddick with the two-hander. And so Andy Roddick in a fantastic tiebreak. The first set, 7-6. A flashback, 1990 U.S. Open, Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras on center court. This was for the title as Agassi serving from the near court to Pete Sampras. This was championship point. Agassi nets it, and Pete Sampras wins the U.S. Open way back in 1990.
Well, obviously the big moment in Pete Sampras' career, a turning point, his first Grand Slam. What a moment. Really catapulted him into the game's elite, and he has not looked back since. And that is on Louis Armstrong Stadium court.
Well, and last night, right here on this center court, they played for the 33rd time. Sampras winning that match as well in straight sets. We are ready to go now. Second set. Roddick with the first in a tiebreak. A fantastic tiebreak, I might add, Lee. That was really high-quality stuff.
And the turning point was George Bush making an appearance.
Right in the middle of it. There he is.
Always a great tennis fan. And
yeah, we saw him at Newport at the International Tennis Hall of Fame induction of Chris Everett. In those days, they were out playing on those grass courts later in the day. George Bush loves this game.
He played a lot of tennis on the White House tennis court.
Yeah.
He and Pam Shriver, great friends. And he always had Bjorn Borg when he could come by. Play with the Swedish ambassador and Bjorn Borg. But it was up to Pam Shriver to find a way to beat those guys. Not an easy task.
Well, he hosted, George Bush did, the tennis players over at his pad here in Houston earlier in the week. What's going through Sampras' mind now, Lee, after a very disappointing tiebreak?
Yeah, I think he's going to just have to fight hard and hang in here, hang tough. He has played well. He just hasn't, boiling it down, he just hasn't won the right points.
Sampras moves over. Roddick with his 10th ace down the center. And so Andy Roddick now at 1-love. Let's have a look at our first set statistics.
Yeah, this has been a pretty tidy set for Andy Roddick. 18 winners, 12 unforced, 9 aces. He's done a good job, and you can see neither guy has really made an impression on the other's serve. They both protected it. And really not much between these guys. So far, it's just a couple of points in the tiebreaker. And Roddick has won them.
At the end of that first set, the grounds crew comes out and totally brushes this court. So it's like a brand new court. No foot marks. Sampras continuing to serve and volley. Mike, that's his only play now, Leaf. He can't try and stay back against Roddick.
You know, I think the inevitable question is, you know, okay, it's hot, it's humid. You know, does Sampras have enough gas in the tank to make a complete comeback here? I think he does. I think he can do it.
Just over the baseline. $15-all, second game, second set. Ooh, just catches that tape. Boy, if that ball sneaks over, it would have been tough to handle. You're looking some of the first round and early round scores here. This was a very strong field assembled for the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships this year.
Yeah, it's interesting to note there that Michael Chang played here, won his opening match convincingly. And in a match similar to this, James Blake, the new generation, taking on Michael Chang, the old guard, and James Blake won that second round match pretty convincingly. So far here, the younger generation has the edge.
Second serve. Roddick way back for that return of serve. Sampras holds easily, 1 game all.
Roddick's going to have a full day at the office. He's got the singles finals here, and then he's got the doubles finals after this. Trying to become the first guy since Jimmy Connors back in 1976 to win the singles and doubles. Connors teaming with Ili Nastasi to win the doubles here.
Connors knew how to pick his doubles partners, I'll tell you. That was a tough team, though, Connors and Nastasi. Tough on the umpires as well. Oh, a rare error off that forehand from Roddick.
There is Lawrence. Andy Roddick's brother. He's a chiropractor in San Antonio. And there are Jerry and Blanche, mom and dad. Okay, this Roddick family loaded with athletic talent.
Yeah.
You see Lawrence and Andy playing basketball in the gym here. Whew, these guys can play.
There's that inside-out forehand.
And their household was, you know, very competitive, not only on the basketball court, on the ping pong table. You know, Blanche was telling me about ping pong paddles flying around the garage. She's like, boys, we've got to stop this.
Well, last year we saw Blanche give Andy lots of trouble on that ping pong table.
She was pretty good.
It's wide. Well, a great player lounge here in Houston. Let's see if Andy Roddick's got the 3 going. This is his brother, Lawrence. And oh, yeah, no, he can knock him down. Actually, he played at Boca Prep in his high school days and used to take his basketball uniform sort of secretly over there because he didn't want his folks to know he was playing basketball. No. Well, Sampras looking just a little impatient now.
Well, the facility here is quite remarkable. Not only do they have all 4 surfaces of the Grand Slam events, but this is the Houston Rockets practice facility, and that court you saw was where the Rockets practice and train. So the players really treated to a very comfortable week.
The high high bouncer, and Roddick holds easily. 2-1. Andy Roddick now in the second set. Stay with us. We're at the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships. Talk about activities. They're all over the grounds. We are back to center court. U.S. Men's Clay Court Championships here from the West Side Tennis Club. A look at the ATP Champions race. We certainly want to thank Weller Evans, Mark Darby, the ATP guys, and of course Greg Sharka, who works 24 hours a day in that press room, keeping us up to date.
Tommy Johansson, the Australian Open champion, he's already having a career year, and we're just getting started. Henman also having a great season. Marat Safin really putting together some great tennis. And of course, Leighton Hewitt, #1 on the entry system list, coming in at #5. Of course, everyone's tennis gearing for that French Open, about a month away.
Starts 4 weeks from tomorrow in Paris. I'm going to keep my eyes on that Roger Federer on those grass courts at Wimbledon this year. I think that guy could cause some trouble.
He might do well on the clay also.
Good depth from Sampras.
Well, I mentioned the Houston Rockets practice facility right here at Westside Tennis Hub. Pete Sampras was sitting watching one of the games on TV, and I said, you know, who's got your Lakers tickets? And he said, well, I gave to my family. And I said, who? Is that Gus? He goes, I don't know. Could be Gus, Marion, Stella, I'm not sure who.
Yeah, he's a Laker fan, all right.
Yes. I think it hurts him to give those seats away.
No. Sampras has dished up 7 unforced errors in the very first 3 games of this set. No, there's another one. I really think Pete looks like he's just a little impatient right now.
Yeah, you can sense the strain of the heat and the pressure of having to keep up with Roddick here. You know, perhaps he's going for a little bit more, trying to end the point a little bit sooner. He's got to be careful. He might be in the showers sooner than he expects.
Oh, right off the line, jumps over the racket of Roddick. Ace #9 for Sampras.
You know, I'm sure he'd like to see more of those. This is what Sampras is going to have to do. He's going to have to create situations early in the rally. Again, anything in the middle of the court, he's going to go for his shots.
Ace #10 for Sampras.
No breaks in serve yet this match. 4th all-time in singles titles. I believe Jimmy Connors still out in front, unless someone has won 50 more titles than I'm unaware of.
No. There's the story in a nutshell. Those unforced errors from Sampras as Roddick serves ace #11. Out wide with some spin, 116 miles per hour. He'll get it. It's good. And Sampras just looks at that ball go up the line. Stay with us. Roddick, 3-2. Andy Roddick up 3-2 in the second set. He has the first in a tiebreak. Well, let's have a look now at the Raymond James financial winners on the ATP circuit.
And there is a good look at it. Johansson, the Australian Open winner, out on top. Hewitt doing well. God, these guys, they earn a lot of money, but I'll tell you, they work hard to get it.
And keep track of the financial winners all year long with Raymond James. Raymond James, listening to you like you are the only investor in the world.
I think you're right, Barry. Sampras looks like he's, you know, just worn down a little bit, but he reminds me a little bit of Ken Rosewall, who used to have that sort of listless look about him, yet he was still determined some way to find a way to get through it.
Sampras just moving a little bit slower between points, but you're right. Don't be fooled. This guy's a great competitor. And there it is. I think what we're going to see here, Leaf, is Sampras going for more winners more quickly. He'll take chances to try and conserve energy.
Because Sampras is definitely battling Roddick, but he's also battling the heat.
Yes. Ace number 11. Well, the matches have been starting through the week at around 4 p.m. And so obviously this is the hottest time of the day and takes a little getting used to. Oh, yes. And Sampras holds. We are at 3 games all, second set. Well, the U.S. Army Rangers are on a mission to find the best soldier in their ranks. Follow the stories of these elite soldiers as OLN airs this intense competition on Sunday, May 13th, Sunday, May 20th. All culminating with episodes on Memorial Day, Monday, May 27th, only on OLN Adventure TV. There is a former President of the United States, George Bush, in front row center. There is a little bit of a tired-looking shot from Sampras. Backs off.
I'll tell you, it's been tough getting a ticket to this event. It has been one of the most popular tennis events this city has ever hosted. But somehow, former presidents get the good seats.
I'll never know how that feels. Again, Sampras going for it all. Catches the tape. Roddick has won 10 consecutive points on his own serve. This would be the 11th right here. Drop shot's awful high. Open court. Now quickly to 40 love. 7th game, second set. No call, service ace, number 12, and Roddick holds it low. Stay with us. Andy Roddick up 4-3 in the second. He has the first in a tiebreak. A hot, humid afternoon here in Houston, Texas, as the 19-year-old American Andy Roddick leads 4-3 in the second set. And look at what they're playing for, Leaf.
Now, the money's good, but these ranking points are always important to these guys as well, because that dictates where they're positioned on the champions race and dictates where their position in the draw oftentimes affects their seeding. Certainly plenty of money on hand here at the U.S. Clay Court Champs.
If Roddick were to win today, he would move into the top 10. But a lot of tennis yet to go here as Sampras serves now. Down 3-4, and Pete right back with an ace. Number 12.
Well, this is the first time Roddick's ever defended a title.
Both players now with 12 aces. That's wide. Again, Pete going for it all. It's long and wide. Now 15 all.
Again, just not quite on that ball as strongly as he was earlier. Sampras wisely taking his time here to conserve energy, to get some energy up into that first serve.
We're in Houston, Texas at the Westside Tennis Club, bringing you championship action from the men's U.S. Clay Court Championships. I'm Barry McKay along with Lee Shiras. This is Andy Roddick in the near court taking on Pete Sampras. Roddick with the first set in a tiebreak. Sampras down 3-4. It's good. No, it's too good.
One of the best points of the match, and it's Sampras trying to dictate play, and he does so beautifully. Look at the carve on that drop volley. Just softens the racket in his hand, absorbs the pace. Roddick knew he had a chance.
30 all. No, the slice goes wide. And now a huge chance for Roddick. Break point to go up 5-3. This crowd pulling for Sampras at this point in the match. They want him to hang in. Just long.
Well, the only break point of the match.
Deuce.
And Sampras gets that first serve in. The return just over the baseline.
Roddick praying for that ball to drop.
Yeah, I'd be looking up at the umpire's chair too.
The wind has really subsided. Very little wind now. Oh no. Sampras going for it all. Way over the baseline. It's a fault. This the biggest point of the match right here. Roddick with a chance. Second serve. And Sampras pulls it into the net. So Andy Roddick now at 5-3, serving for the championship. Sampras uncorks one of the best forehands he's hit all day. He's going for it now. He does not want to play long points. Tough shot. Look out. No. Well over the baseline. 15 all. No call, service ace. Number 13 as Sampras has a look. My colleague Leif Shires has headed courtside just in case this match ends. We'll try and get a word from both players. Oh, that's too good. Sampras taking the speed off that big return, just slices it down the line. Great control. 30 all. Beats in, that will go long.
Oh, what a great chip in charge, Barry.
Absolutely. Leaf, right now, I think, is where Roddick needs to slow down slightly. There's a tendency to rush when you're trying to put the match away. Big opportunity here. Break point, Sampras. Roddick, 129 miles per hour.
You know, that's what the great servers do, Barry. They get that first serve in when they're in trouble.
Sampras just smothers that forehand. Championship point. Andy Roddick. It's long. That's long. It is long, and Roddick has done it. Standing ovation for both players. Roddick defends his title in Houston. Pete Sampras, a great effort. Solid tennis in that first set, but the youngster was too tough, and I think the heat Leaf finally caught up with Pete Sampras. And so Roddick defends his title. Stay with us. We're at the Westside Tennis Club, and we'll be right back. Andy Roddick, the champion.